welcome to Advance Wars 2 Black Hole Rising. So yes, I wiped my data at the very beginning here, so we are starting fresh. I'm hoping they don't throw me into the tutorial, but we'll see. So, the sprites have been changed in this game compared to the previous one because they revamped everything and just made it for the better. Like, I really cannot think of a single way that the first game is better than this one. I'd like to say it's hyperbole, but no, they really pulled out all the stops for this one. So anyway, one of the big changes from the previous game to this one is that it's a little bit better to unlock the COs, I'd say. For most of them, you just have to beat their campaign and then you get them because, yes, you actually play as people outside of Orange Star for once. The three that are a little tricky to get are Nell, you have to have a high average for your campaign score. For Sturm, you have to have an almost perfect one. And Hachi, you have to beat hard mode, which is the advanced campaign. So with the exception of those three, like, all the others come fairly decently easily enough. Now, there are new enemy COs, like Sturm actually has an army that he has at his disposal. Other COs, even though they're a little lackluster compared to Von Bolt's crew, they're still there, just to put that out there. Like, how to put it? It's just all around better because there's a lot more variety in what you'll see. And I'll elaborate as we go, but yes, I want to pick this up as soon as the Advance Wars 1 playthrough ends. I don't know if I'm going to do... I probably should do hard mode in this one, I think, just because it's an all-around better game. And I pushed the wrong button. So, without further ado, let's just jump into the campaign and see what happens. So you get a prologue. Macroland, that's the place this all takes place at, where the Black Hole Army's Iron Fist has crushed all opposition. Elsewhere, their grip is tightening. Do I have to hit a button? Yes, I do. Hawk, come to me. Hawk is like one of the most annoying COs in the game. By your command, my Lord Sturm. How goes the Macroland invasion? Excellent, my lord. The other COs have just completed their operations. Our objective is clear, is it not? To establish a base of Black Hole operations here on Wars World. Yes. Recently I instigated a great conflict between the countries here. I sought to conquer them all amidst the unrest. I failed. That was in Cosmoland, was it not, my lord? I will not make the same mistakes again. This time I will have a base and invade at my leisure. To that end, I need materials and money. Do not worry, my lord. The COs have been given their orders. They will transport all that you desire from the lands they seize. Do not fail me. Never, my lord. So you still kick things off in Orange Star, that there's no way around, I'm afraid. Hey, Sammy, Nell said you needed to see us. Andy, Max, thanks for coming so quickly. You're not going to believe this, but the Black Hole Army's back. You've got to be kidding. Didn't they learn their lesson the last time? I guess not. Let's go get them. Where are they? Slow down, Andy. The enemy's not here in Cosmoland. Huh? Well, where are they? In our world, in Wars World, there are several continents, right? Really? Continents? Remember, that's the dude who doesn't know about airports. You twerp, you don't know anything, do you? Hey, you're not calling me dumb, are you? I'm just saying that people who don't know anything don't know nothing. Knock it off, you two. This is neither the time nor the place for that. According to Nell, Macroland is the focus of the conflict, but they've been spotted in other countries too, including here in Orange Star. And Blue Moon and Yellow Comet? Yep, and Green Earth as well. Wonder if they're mobilizing to push the Black Hole Army back too. Woohoo! It'll be like a family reunion, except people dying, you know. Andy, this is war. Do you think there's anything to be excited about? No, but we'll get to see everyone again, and that makes me happy. As you feast among the dead bodies? Just saying. Come on, let's go. Hold on, Andy. Andy? He's gone. Well, we all gotta go sometime, right? At least he's got the right attitude. No sense getting all bummed out before the battle even begins. You know, it's been so peaceful around here lately. I just know Nell's going to want us to give us all a little refresher, of course, on basic combat ops. That's fine, after all, you can never have too much training. Oh great, just what I wanted, another boring lecture. So the star thing is supposed to be the difficulty, obviously this being the tutorial thing. The The enemy CO, I believe, is named Flak, and he's like one of the worst COs in the game. Like, he's not one of the ones that even made everyone balancing. He's easily the low-tier guy on the list. So the objective is to take out Black Hole's troops. Hey, why are the orange star lines broken? They're stronger than we had anticipated. I don't want excuses. I want victory. More trouble, sir. We have reports of a new orange star CO arriving. Lord Flak, if we continue, we're only going to take more casualties. Nothing else to do. Use the troops we got left. This orange star CO, what's he like? Mission 1, Cleanup. Yes, there's no exclamation points in the titles of these maps. I hope you're not heartbroken. Okay, we've taken care of the majority of Black Hole's forces here. This Black Hole army is proving to be quite dangerous. Commander, we've located the remaining enemy units. We're preparing to launch pursuit. Understood. I'll take it from here. Nell! What's the matter? Are you okay? Oh, Andy. Sorry for the sudden call. Where are the bad guys? Settle down. I've wiped out most of the enemy. Oh, I was hoping I'd get a chance to show off for you. Don't be foolish, Andy. This is no training exercise. You might be a mechanical wizard, but you still need practice with soldiers. I don't think you're as combat ready as you'd like to believe. You can take over for me, but I'm going to give you instructions as you go, and I want you to listen. Yes, ma'am. Let's get started. The orange units are under your command. Your enemies are those black units in the top right corner of the map. Your goal is simple, reclaim our land. Do that by capturing the enemy HQ or by defeating all enemy units. Move out and be careful not to let the enemy defeat your troops. Okay, I'm ready to go. Rushing into battle only to get beaten wins us nothing. Let's review some basic troop deployment first. First, use this cursor to give orders. Move with the control pad. Here, try giving orders to a unit. Move the cursor onto a unit, press the A button. That's an infantry unit. They have low firepower, but they're essential in combat mode. Do you remember what our goals are on this map? You bet. Get rid of all the bad guys or capture their HQ. You did remember. Well done. Now, this is important. Only foot soldiers can capture properties. Of course, infantry units are a type of foot soldier. That's right. If I don't have any foot soldiers, I can't capture anything. Unlike with Tiny Metal, which actually improved this, there's only two types of foot soldier in this game, the infantry and the mech. It'd be cool if there was like a sniper, a special ops, a marine, or something like that, but yeah. I prefer the marine to be like a naval infantry unit. Just throwing that out there. That'd be kind of cool for Sammy. Right, now don't forget you can only capture enemy and neutral properties. The capture command appears when you move an infantry unit onto these. Okay, let's move a unit. Did you notice how some of the spaces around that unit change color? That's the unit's moon range. When you finish moving a unit, the command menu will appear. Select wait if you have no further orders for that unit. That's an APC unit. APCs have no attack capabilities. Oh, weak. Weak in combat, perhaps, but they're incredibly useful. Yeah, the AI goes nuts for them still. They can load and transport infantry units and supply your units. Load, huh? I don't get it, but it sounds useful. If you move infantry units onto APCs, the load command appears. Then use the drop command to unload those units. Transporting troops and APCs like this gets your infantry where they need to be in a hurry. I get it. Infantry units can move 3 spaces, but APCs can move 6. Gotta give that a try. Be careful, units that have been dropped can only be ordered to wait. Also, you can only drop units onto terrain they normally can traverse. If I dropped infantry in the sea, they might drown, huh? Okay, I won't forget. By the way, Nell, what's supply? Units lose both fuel and primary weapon ammo as they fight. When they run out of primary weapon ammo, your units use weaker attacks. When they run out of gas, your units can't move. By the way, some don't have a secondary weapon, so they can be caught completely flat-footed, so to speak. Oh yeah, when air and navy units run out of fuel, they die. So just don't forget that. APCs can supply fuel and rounds to units in adjacent spaces. APCs automatically supply any nearby units at the start of each turn. However, you can use the supply command if you need supplies quickly. Okay, so APCs are used to help out other units. Got it. Alright, now take a close look at movement range. Do you see how the APC can't travel in the mountains? All units have movement type, and this affects their movement costs. APCs move on treads like tanks, so they can't cross mountains or rivers. To see intel on units, select them and press the R button. How do I check which units can move in specific types of terrain? Place the cursor on the terrain and press the R button for intel. I don't think they told you that in the first game. It might have been in the instruction manual. Because I was trying to remember for the longest time. When you finish deploying all of your units, your turn's finished. Place the cursor on empty space and press the A button. On the command menu, select end to end your turn. If you want to see, that's woods. You can see it's agony for tires. For mountains, infantry, pay double for it, but mechs and air are fine. Now what's important is, even though this is a pre-deploy map, you'll notice there's still money visible. That one's tough. Can I win with these units? Ha, this is where the fun starts. Hey, Nell? We're fighting the Black Hole Army, right? Yes. However, it isn't Stern we're facing. It looks like another CO. I get the impression that whoever it is just wants to smash things. Well, he's not getting away with anything while I'm around. That's the spirit. I knew I could count on you. Now, let me give you some instructions on combat. The infantry under your command here are direct combat units. Direct combat is when I move next to an enemy unit and attack, right? That's right. You're such a quick study. After you attack the enemy, you'll always counterattack the possible. Damage units lose firepower, though. So even if the enemy fires back, it's to your advantage to attack first. Okay, so my attack reduces the enemy's HP and its attack strength. That means I take less damage. He who strikes first wins. Damage units will have an icon on them displaying their remaining HP. If their HP reaches 0, they'll vanish from the battle, so be careful. That's the euphemism for dying. Move next to an opponent and fire will appear in the command menu. Select fire, confirm your target, and the combat will begin. Simple. Sure is. I'm itching to get started. You can see the window on the left, right? That's called the cursor intel window. The heart icon shows HP, the fuel tank shows remaining gas. If the unit has a primary weapon, the number of rounds is shown. As a CO, it's your duty to be aware of your unit's conditions. So, let's whip this out real quick. Since we're about to start trading blows, we will need to cover some of this. So you have Andy, a mechanical boy wonder, impulsive to a fault. He's fiercely protective of his friends. Hit mechanics, miss waking up early. No real weaknesses, proficient with air, sea, and land units, ready to fight wherever and whenever. His power is Hyper Repair, restores 2 HP to all units. His superpower is Hyper Upgrade, restores 5 HP to all units. Firepower rises and unit movement increases 1 space. So that's very handy for dealing with Grid or any other ranged guy who's a little annoying. And then they finally give you this, so you can actually quantify how everything is relative strength terms, rather than trying to estimate based off of damage and using Andy as a neutral, and it just cuts back on a lot of the annoying math crap. Then you have Flak, the strongman of the Black Hole Army, promoted from Private by Hawk. Hit, meat, miss, veggies. High firepower, but he relies solely on strength. His shy technique sometimes reduces the damage his units deal. That means he has a high bad luck multiplier like Sonya does. His power is Brute Force, increases dispersion of fire. There's a chance of getting a super strong blow, but unit's firepower might suddenly drop instead. So he becomes this weird amalgamation of Nell and Sonya. And sometimes that Brute Force thing can be an insta-kill, so just watch out. Superpower is Barbaric Blow. Attack power increases dramatically, but so does the dispersion rate, which affects the amount of damage targets take. So this is a small strike window, this is a large window, and I really don't know how, if it skews one way or another. It's just weird, and I really don't bother with Flak just because he's really low tier. Then for powers, power-wise, you can see that he's really identical to Andy. The main thing is he has this weird unit there that we seem to have never seen before. I wonder what that could possibly be. Food for thought. So he did the correct thing there by trying to seize terrain advantage, but I can go in trees too. And he actually got a good luck roll there. I should have had one left. I should have one more, I mean. And that was favorable. So I'm going to go catch this guy flat-foot on the open road. There's no defense bonus for either guy, so I get to just rip into him a little bit. And then we'll top off everyone's fuel. So the wise thing for him to do is take the trees. Let's see if he does it. It's almost like I'm reading from a script, you know? The Orange Star Army is here. I order you to surrender. You did it, Andy. This area has been liberated. But it was kind of too easy. Don't worry. I have a feeling that we're in for a whole slew of combat. Today, however, we celebrate your victory. Keep up the good work.
Mission complete.
A perfect score. Surely Andy has earned it. That's just a taste of my skill. So we get 300 points. Everything costs a lot more in the game because they use points rather than gold coins, but it's not really that bad. So this is when you choose where you want to go next, but obviously we're still too early to really get a choice. We're going to continue with Sammy, basically just because this video is so short, and there's actually a nice variety of missions in the game. I probably will do some of the war room stuff in this game too, just to earn points and stuff, and I'll make sure to upload that. Black hole's closing in. Can I hold the bridge? Oh, I forgot to point out the other crap. I can't go back either. I'll have to do it on the next one. Lord Flack, Orange Star Force is sighted on the opposite shore. What? Is that all they got? Ha! Send out the tanks. Tanks are powerful and they move far. Tanks are the best. Orange Star COs? Ha! I'll crush them. Crush them all. Mission 2, Border Skirmish. Commander, enemy troops have been spotted on the far side of the river. Are you sure? Here? This rural area? What are your orders, ma'am? Should we cease ops and attack? That's affirmative, soldier. We can't allow the enemy a foothold this deep in Orange Star territory. Good assessment, Sammy. That's the tactical sense I expect from a Special Forces commander. Nell, what are you doing here? Tracking down the COs invading Orange Star, of course. Sammy, can I trust you to take care of the situation? Yes, ma'am. But if you had some advice you could offer, I'd feel much more confident. I'd be happy to, Sammy. Okay, troops, let's move out. Lord Flack, our infantry has reported finding Orange Star properties. What? Enemy cities? Capturing bases is grunt work. That's all we need cash to fund the invasion. Listen up, if it ain't nailed down, steal it. Now, in cities, bases, or whatever, they all got capture numbers of 20. Any infantry with an HP of 10 can reduce the capture number by 10. So that means you can secure property in, 2 days? If you move or get taken out while capturing, you gotta start over again. Got that? Get moving. Black Hole needs cash. Sammy, you already know the basics of troop deployment, so please take a look. Please look at the cursor and tell window below. There are some stars below the HQ icon, right? Those illustrate the level of defensive cover offered by this terrain. HQ is the highest one that I know of other than mountain. The higher the defensive cover, the less damage you take in combat. So try choosing terrain that allows you to mitigate battle damage. If you need terrain intel, just press the R button. So that means that it's better to engage those tanks from the woods, rather than on the plains or roads, right? You've got it. Go get him, Sammy. So, step 1... That's a mech unit. Mech units are stronger than infantry units. As foot soldiers, they can capture, use transports, and cross mountains. It stays under CO, as it says under CO on the map menu. You're tops with infantry. I plan on going there next. Infantry under your command has superior firepower. This allows them to hold their own even against tanks. Be careful not to let the enemy fire on you first, though. So, 71 damage. And we only lost 1. So, as Nell said, Sammy, a strong-willed soldier who backs up Max and Andy, a graduate Special Forces trained, hit chocolate mist cowards. Being an infantry specialist, your foot soldiers move farther, capture faster, and cause more damage. Weak versus vehicles. Not always. Sammy can catch a lot of vehicles completely blindsided, man. She is awesome in this game, you'll find out why when I push the next button. Double time. Infantry and mech units receive a movement bonus of 1 space. Their attack strength increases as well. And then you reach one of the most broken powers in the game, Victory March. Increases all foot soldiers' movement range by 2 spaces. They capture in 1 turn regardless of their HP. So you can seriously have a 1 HP unit go take a base, a headquarters, whatever, in 1 go. This allows you to steal victory in so many circumstances. And what's so hilarious is that's a 2 movement speed to a mech. So in certain Fog of War missions, you can literally have a mech jump out of mountains, literally out of nowhere, jump on an enemy HQ and take it, just blindside them. And I can't emphasize it enough, that is one of those things that's going to get one of your friends to throw a Game Boy at you. And it's utterly, utterly hilarious when it happens. As for Sammy, you can see here she gets a 20% boost to her infantry, but she gets a 10% penalty to all other units. Her ranged units are neutral, though. Now, the flip side is, if you notice, all of her transporters, the APC, the copter, and the lander all get +1 movement. Now, in case you're wondering, how can Victory March get even more broken? If you have her tag team with Eagle and Dual Strike, their Dual Strike is utterly insane, because Eagle moves his transport copter, he uses Lightning Strike to move it again and drop the infantry. Then Sammy pops Victory March. They can cross something like 25 spaces in one turn. I'm exaggerating, it's probably closer to like 15. But you can literally come out of almost nowhere, just drop the infantry, it's going to seize whatever it takes in one turn. Like, it's one of those things, like, I don't know if the devs consciously chose to do that, but wow. But yeah, this is Sammy's heyday. The unit you selected is an artillery unit. It's an indirect combat unit that can fire on enemies from a distance. Attacking from a distance means you have no fear of counterstrikes. However, indirect combat units cannot fire on adjacent units. That means that indirect combat units cannot counterattack. Okay, I'll try not to expose them to direct fire. If you're able to do that, I'm sure they'll treat you right. One more thing, indirect combat units cannot fire after moving. They can only attack from their current locations. Understood. I'll use these units to line wait and ambush the foe. Perfect. Now, do you remember how to check a unit's range of fire? Place the cursor on a unit and press the B button. See the lights? Artillery units have a range of 2 to 3 spaces. You can confirm the intel by selecting the unit and pressing the R button. So yeah, I showed this to you earlier, but I'll do it again. That's what this is. I'm holding B. So for these early maps, HQ sneaking isn't really possible. Like, you'll kill everything long before you even get a chance to reach the HQ. I'm always amazed at your ability to capture property, Sammy. That extra speed is a useful CO power to have in combat. Thanks. Being good at capturing and transport troops is fine, but I'm not very comfortable attacking with non-infantry units. Guess that's something I'll have to work on. Yes, that is important. However, it's vital that you utilize your technique, your unique talents, and develop your own fighting style, too. My own fighting style? You're right. I'll do my best, ma'am. That's the spirit. I'm counting on you. Let's get back to my explanation. I'd like to discuss that city you started capturing. Unlike the enemy HQ, capturing this property won't win you the battle. However, all bases are vital to the success of any campaign. Can you tell me why? Because they provide defensive cover as well as funds, right? Absolutely right. Nicely done, Sammy. Your army receives funding daily from all allied properties. If you have deployment properties, you can use your funds to ready new troops. As you have no deployment properties, your funds will only go toward repairing your units. Still, having lots of properties is never a bad thing, so capture as many as you can. So this gets the +1, but they don't actually comment on that, those jerks. So I'm doing this to resupply the mech, and enter. 2 women COs. Good country. I must have it. As you can see, speaking difficult for Flak. Ouch, that unit's been hurt. I need some place to rest it. Don't panic, Sammy. There's a way to help that unit out. Units that have taken damage can rest on any allied property. While they're resting, they recover 2 HP at the start of each turn. Plus, resting units also replenish all their fuel and ammo. Bases also have the advantage of high terrain cover. Spectacular. You're right. However, enemies receive the same benefits from their bases. So capturing properties is vital in a successful combat plan. Understood. Capturing is something I excel at. So, okay. It's our turn. Move any damaged units onto secure properties and rest them. Be sure to continue capturing any bases that are not yet secure. Now, maybe this is something you've been wondering about. There are some numbers displayed next to your picture, right? Those numbers are your current funds. You have 6,000 chi. Since I'm doing this on a Game Boy Opera, you can actually see my mouse, but she's talking about up here. Funds are used to deploy new troops, but don't worry about that now. Depending on the unit's cost, some funds might be needed for repairs. It's basically 10% of the unit's cost for 1 HP, so like you'll basically be buying a new unit if you completely build it up from 1 to 10. You're paying 90% of the cost anyway. That's for my lessons today. Can I leave the rest up to you? Yes, ma'am. I feel confident of victory. Now, it's not always a bad thing to repair units like that because... okay. I did it once, I want to say, in the previous game upload video, whatever you want to call it. And the whole incentive for that is Say we have 2 3 HP units on this tile and this tile. Now, the significance of that is, at the start of my turn, they'd heal to 5, and I can combine them into a full unit. So, even though stuff is kind of wounded, it's not useless or anything. I want to make that perfectly clear. So anyway, poke with your indirect first, because the enemy cannot counterattack. Finish this one off. We're going to pull this back so the mech can go in here and heal up. I'm going to shoot the infantry when it enters the river. So I get no protection from the bridge, but I'll have indirect fire support. He probably got a lucky roll there. I guess he's not as unlucky as Sonya is. Okay, so that changes my plans. I was going to pull this back for repairs, but it's not needed now. But as you can see, Sammy's infantry kicked the crap out of other guys. So I'm not going to get a defensive bonus from the river, but still, I'm just chewing them up. I was curious if they would combine or anything. That may have been a mistake. Because it may take me a little while to run this sucker down. I probably should have lowered the mech into the APC and then pushed it forward. I can loop him around here to do this. Basically use this one infantry as a cleaner of sorts. The thing I'd have to worry about, though, is if the enemy ran away. So right here I'm going to position these to try to limit the amount of spaces the APC can move. It may run back to its HQ, which would be annoying. Or do that. So right now I'm just looking to box it in. I have 17,000. Yeah, I guess. Just remember, folks, running away just means you die tired. Grr, not bad. For a girl. You're the Black Hole CO? You're just a thug. Who do you think? Yap, yap, yap. Shut your trap. I'm leaving for now. Next time, I'll put you in your place. Hey. He escaped. And he was so rude, too. Ooh, that makes me so angry. If I get a chance, I'm gonna run him down. With her APC. Glad we can depend on you, Sammy.
Mission complete.
So I may have got a speed penalty here since they ran. Nope. And then the final tutorial should be Max, which will also include that big thug. He won't get away next time. I don't remember how much COs cost in this game. If it's 1,000 or what. Okay, so the thing they wanted to point out was down here. They actually give you a breakdown of everything that's here. This is a missile you can launch at enemies. It's a one-time use thing. Port, you can build boats out of this. Airport, you can build planes out of this. Space, anything ground out of it. And then normal cities. Armies on both sides, an ocean in the middle. Let the hostilities begin. That's the spirit, Max. Hey, Orange Star Dogs. Can you hear me? Lord Black? The microphone? Shut up. Too complicated. Anyone there? Or are you too scared to face me? What's with the racket? You lonely or something? Huh. Look, a gorilla. What'd you say? If anyone here's a gorilla, it's you, Ape Man. I'm no ape. I'm Flack. Flak? What's that, some sort of code name? Listen up, Flak. My name's Max. Now tell me what you jerks are doing rampaging through our country. Your country? Orange Star belongs to the Black Hole Army now. You complain, you get hurt. Oh, you think so? Give it your best shot. Mission 3, Orange Dawn. So here's going to be the heartbreaking part from the guys coming from the first game. Max, calm down. Nell? To lose your head is to lose the fight. I taught you that, remember? Yes, but it's just... I understand your anger, Max. No one likes seeing his homeland ravaged. All the more reason to proceed calmly and rationally. Use your head and drive these fiends from our borders, okay? You got it. Let's roll. So, okay, we have to talk more. Now, Max, I know you're a combat veteran, but medium tanks, battle copters, and transport copters are tough to handle if you're a bit rusty. You deployed copters? Well, it has been a while since I've dealt with air units. But medium tanks? Come on, it's a tank. Bigger and stronger, but still a tank. Okay, I'll give you that one. In the knockdown, drag-out world to direct combat, you're the champ. When it comes to firing, air units act the same as ground units. I'll bet the air tank expertise makes you handy with battlecopters, too. Yeah, you're probably right. In a head-to-head battle, I can't be beaten. However, indirect combat is another story, isn't it? I'll admit that your power has overcome that particular obstacle, though. You know it. Indirect combat units? Who needs them? I can't fault your confidence. Try not to overdo it. So, yes. Max, a brave and loyal friend and an earnest warrior who hates deception and trickery, hit white training, miss studying. Non-infantry direct combat units are tops. Indirect combat troops are limited in range and firepower. Power is max force. Firepower direct combat units rise slightly and they gain a movement space. And then you have max blast. They receive a bigger firepower boost and they can move 2 spaces. So yes, his firepower bonus has decreased from the first game. You can see that all the indirects lose range and firepower, and then everything other than infantry is quite a bit stronger. Relatively speaking, but still weaker from the first game. So yeah, indirects are kind of hard to use with Max. We talked about this earlier, right? Your difficulty with indirect combat. Oh yeah, I thought we covered that. Just hear me out, Max. To see your unit's ranges of fire, press the B button. In your case, the ranges are a little small, so make sure you take a look. Yeah, I know, you don't have to keep reminding me about it. But yeah, I'll admit it, knowing your weak points is important. Wow, Max, you've come a long way. I didn't think I'd hear you say that. Oh, well, hey, it's about time you show these goons what we mean business. So, yeah, I know. HQ sneak is definitely feasible in this mission. What you have there is a battlecopter. It's a direct combat unit. Air units are easy to deploy because their movement isn't limited by terrain, and of course, they don't receive any defensive cover either. Battlecopter firepower is at least equal to a tank's, and dogfights with their copters, they're as tough as can be. Press the R button for further intel. Alright, I'm gonna knock some heads. So if you want to read it there, their machine gun is still good on copters, as we'll demonstrate in a moment, but you don't want to run out of missiles, otherwise tanks get rough. So just like that, we tear through a large portion of him. Finish it off. That's a transport copter, right? Like APCs, T-copters can carry infantry and mech units. Another similarity is that they lack weapons. T-copters cannot fire. On a map like this, where you need to circle around to reach the enemy HQ, T-copters can shorten the distance. Even Cs are no obstacle. Now that's useful. Yes, it is. I'll leave it to you on how to best utilize them. Laying in and loading with T-copters is handled the same as the APCs. Not being able to drop units off in certain terrain is the same too. One other thing. T-copters can't unload or supply troops when flying overseas. Don't forget that. You know, this Max guy kind of reminds me of me, except I'm me. This should be fun. Those copters are damaged. Where can I repair them? Sorry, Max, but there's no place to repair air units on this map. You need an airport for that, and there's just not one around here. You're not completely helpless, though. There's another battlecopter unit, right? Well, you can take 2 units at the same time and join them together. Do this, create a unit that has the combined HP of the single units. Join, making 1 unit out of 2. Uh-huh. 2 become 1, and they combine their HP. They also combine fuel on ammo, which is important to point out. Of course, this does mean that you have 1 less unit to work with. My advice is to avoid this unless it's absolutely necessary. Can an individual unit have more than 10 HP? Unfortunately, no. 10 is the max. To join, simply move 1 unit onto the other and select the join command. One more thing. A damaged unit cannot join with an undamaged unit. Okay, I got it. Yeah. I should have put the tank here. Oh well. So the tank can only respond with its machine gun, it can't use its main gun. Just like that, we've kind of crippled it, so we don't have to worry about the inevitable fight on the bridge. So I'm just going to chew these up so he's less inclined to go after me. And if I drop the infantry now, the tank will murder it. It's possible that this could come down and shoot at the copter, which would suck. It did. And we actually got a little bit of a lucky roll there. Anyway, this one's not in the woods, so I should be able to repeat that. And that time I got an unlucky roll. So I put this here so I can do this. So I can do this. That's not going to be enough. So I can actually take a good piece out of that, but oh well. We'll still be fine. Okay, with that effectively crippled, let's slide over here. I will drop that there. He shouldn't be able to... he can reach the infantry, but I'll just kill it next turn anyway. Okay, we beat the medium tank. So it ends next turn anyway. And since Max likes tanks, we'll have this one deal the finishing blow. How's that, 8-man? Told you not to mess with me. Ha. Ha. Don't ha me. You just got beaten. This was just a test. Next time it's for real. Like I've never heard that before. I'm gonna go make you regret ever showing your ugly mug around here. Max, or whatever you said your name was, you're mine. Before this is over, I'll crush you like a bug. So long. Wait, you dirtbag. Shoot, he got away. Black hole. Deplorable characters, all of them. You said it. By the way, there's something else I wanted to talk to you about. After the battle, you'll see some points on a rank displayed, right? The points you can use in battle maps to buy things from Hachi. I'll explain how to get high points. Okay, I definitely want to win with the highest ranking possible. I thought as much. You know, battling for higher rankings is fun when you got free time. First, let me tell you what the scores all mean. Speed is the length of time you take to complete the mission. Next, power is the number of enemy units you destroy. I believe in one turn, though. Finally, technique counts the number of units you lost. However, victory is your top priority. Doing silly things to earn more points is not acceptable. Points or no points, I'm always at full throttle. I won't stop.
Mission complete.
So yes, another perfect flak, huh? Dumb name, tough CO. No, not really. Dumb name, dumb CO. So with that, the tutorial is effectively complete. And now you get to choose where you go. Now I believe you have to do all of these if I remember correctly, so one by one we'll just go down the line. And you can see they're actually 2 stars. So unlike the other game, the first one where it's just mission after mission, this one you can actually just walk away and then go do something else. So we can go into battle maps, for instance, and say hello to Hachi. He's actually recruitable this game. Look into battle maps. Name's Hachi. Pleased to meet you. This is where you use points earned in campaign mode or the war room. I've got maps and COs you can use in free battle or the war room, and, well, I've got all kinds of stuff. Go ahead, take a look around. So this allows you to edit Max's colors. See how we'll do it. And Sammy. I'm not going to do a flak just yet. So these are the different war room maps we can get. I'll choose yes to save. So we can go to design and actually change color schemes. Link, hopefully you understand, is multiplayer. So they actually you change color palettes here. So this makes Andy look like he's Yellow Comet, and this makes him look like he's Green Earth, Blue Moon, Black Hole, and then just some weird ones. I'm going to be leaving everything on its defaults for this playthrough just so people don't get confused. Max can go green, you can go red, yellowish, I guess? Nothing makes his hair white, unfortunately. As for Sammy, you have that one, which is... I kind of want to call it like the Rambo type thing, but maybe that's just me. Then you can have her with white hair, or blue hair. That'd be her Twitter profile. Pink hair, well, that would be the alternate one. And yeah, it doesn't actually change their pose or anything, it's just their colors. Versus Battle Friends are an AI if you want to test something. And for the War Room, we'll just poke in here. So yes, Span Isle, Moji Island, Dual Falls all come back, but they have different COs here now. So in the first game, you fought Olaf here. I think it's literally the exact same, but I will play it eventually just to test it. But yeah, Moji Island, this was Grit, here it's Adder, his whole gimmick is movement, he gets more movement points. So while for Grit you had to rush through the trees, here he can run at you through the trees, which is why it's different. Dual Falls is Kanbei's map, he was a little hamstrung back then because of the funding, but here it's Max. And if you remember, it was Max that I used to actually face him, so we have to come up with something different. But otherwise, quite a few of these are from, actually all of them might be from the first game, just with different COs. Because I think this was Eagle and Drake in the first game. But then I believe, yeah, you do run into maps with 3 enemy COs. Looks like there's only 2 of them there. This looks like the Black Hole crew, and then I don't know who this one is. If it's the new guys, that would be Colin, Sensei, and Jess. Because that looks like Jess's profile on the right and Sensei on the left. That one will be really, really annoying though, because Sensei and Colin are really good at spamming units. Yeah, this is where we'll be continuing forward, and next time we'll be continuing the Orange Star campaign. I'm the hero Linked. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.